Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Today I'm going to talk about the unlimited format and exactly what I think has the best chance of stopping a lot of decks. Now, obviously, everybody loves trying to either donk, set up with massive flows of trainers, or trying to lock somebody down. Well, that lock is probably the deadliest thing you have to fear. The deadliest lock that we have involves the Arceus set Spiritomb. And this little buddy has a Keystone Veil Poké Body that makes it to where neither player can play trainers from their hand onto the field. So yeah, this right here makes all the effort worthwhile for a Spiritomb deck. Now obviously Spiritomb is going to be run in 4s because this card is just that good. And it's supposed to slow down cards like Sableye, slow plenty of stage 2 decks that set up like Machamp or Gengar or even Blastoise, Emboar, stuff like that. Slows them down. And usually you can back up that strategy with several different other strategies. You can use hand control, you can use deck control, spread damage from the bench. You can use tons of different strategies here. Now, slowing your opponent down enough is absolutely critical. But if you're able to pull off the most impossible combo to try to lock your opponent down after the trainer lock is in effect, you've done your fair share. And with Spiritomb on the field, it makes it hard for your opponent to really find anything to counter, seeing how you really can't search out anything without a supporter, and you can't really find the Pokemon you need without the trainer, Jirachi. Anyway, that's basically the way I see it. Now, no one's going to run a deck completely just to counter the trainer lock, which not going to happen. No. But Spiritomb has a very good attack. What Spiritomb does is, for no energy, you search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from one of the Pokemon in play, and you evolve it. So, but you put the damage gun on Spiritomb. But anyway, it is a very, very good, solid starting attack. Now, what do you really do here? Well, for one, if you want to continue a really good lock, why not go for Slowking from Heart Gold Soul Silver? I mean, what does it do? Look at the top 3 cards of either player's deck and rearrange them however you like. This makes it very hard for your opponent to really keep to draw into cards they need, because you control the top card. You also have other Pokemon that can kind of, sort of, trash the deck. And this means like Malamar, Durant, plenty of other Pokemon. Obviously, you don't want Durant to really start things off. And Durant's usually one of them very fast decks that have to get off, very fast to work. Malamar, however, is one of those decks that can definitely disrupt your opponent by itself. It doesn't require a whole bunch of benched Pokemon that have the same name. So, the idea here is mental trash. Keep flipping coins, and for four coins your opponent flips, every tails they discard a card from their deck, from the top of their deck. And assuming you have no Slowking to help, keep things going well for you, you can always just shift the blame over to them and all is well. But let's say, for instance, you don't want to partake on this strategy. Well, you can use the Executor from Legends Awaken. Now, this is a very good card here. Now, why didn't anyone really think of this back in the day when we had everything? Well, I guess because we had everything. We had Lux Chop, we had Machamp, we had everything. You didn't need anything else. That's why Executor failed back then, is because the format was full of everything that was good, period. So that's probably one of the reasons why we never really got to it. But here's where I'm getting at. Executor for 0 energy attacks with Psychic Strategy, and it says each player counts the number of cards in his or her opponent's hand. Each player shuffles his or her hand into their deck, and then they draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards that his or her opponent's hand, his or her opponent had. This is amazing because you can even discard your hand down to nothing and play Executor, make them draw 1 card, and try to use that 1 card. Now, if you want, you can play Executor without Spiritomb, but where's the fun in that? I mean, you can basically get an Execute out. You can even play the Plasma Blast Execute, then go to Keystone Veil, evolve into Executor, attack for nothing the next turn, and force your opponent to play with 1 card in their hand. That way you don't have to play tons of crapola. And even in some situations where you're playing the mirror, you can't play trainers to try to get Executor out turn 1. And that's where, that's where he comes in handy. And being able to use an attack to evolve your Pokemon while producing a trainer lock is a very deadly strategy. Now, there's a couple other Pokemon that you could use. I recall Giratina from the, I want to say the Platinum set. Yeah, I think it was the Platinum set. It's the, yeah, I'm more than certain it's the Giratina Level X from that set. Anyway, what I'm looking for here, I guess, is the Pokebody. It's yeah, anyway, it's got a couple of really good lower stages that you can use that we've come across since its first existence early in the Diamond and Pearl era. But basically, Invisible Tentacles is the name of the Pokebody, and it's basically whenever your opponent's Pokemon oh man, I don't want to get you guys wrong, but whenever they use an attack, your opponent discards a card from their hand, and if they can't, the Pokemon can attack. And you obviously can only use one of those Pokebodies a turn. And that is absolutely good. Now, here's why you keep it like that though. In order for your opponent to attack, they have to discard a card. When they only draw 1 card, how else are they going to attack? So this is the way I see it. And since you're going to be using something like Slowking to continuously make the deck what you want, you're going to keep pulling out that card you don't like, and if you come across several cards that you really don't think you want them to have, you always have tons of options to get rid of those few cards. Like Trick Shovel is probably the best, and then that's pretty much it. And think about it, Giratina level X only goes for like $8, so it's pretty cheap in the meta game as far as the unlimited set. Now, obviously, this is going to take a lot of practice to get used to, and Spiritomb can evolve it. But things like level max and different level up strategies do work. Now, obviously, I don't have a deck list for this, but I do. I did run the concept, and the concept is solid. It's actually a very old deck concept, but I do remember playing this deck and noticing how great it was at producing a lock. Now, most people tried Sableye with Cyrus's Conspiracy. Of course, it was faster, but it didn't get the job done completely, and that's why some people struggled with it. But in this deck, Spiritomb locks them out of their trainers. You get their hand down to nothing, control their top deck, and then get your basically when you can play your hand down to nothing, pull out Executor and force them to take the small hand, then you just pretty much pray that they don't draw a supporter on that first turn. So, and that is where the deck stops. Obviously, I can't give any really more cards out because I'm running low on time, guys. But anyway, if you have subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments you have in the comment section down below. And as always, I hope you guys had as much fun as I've had. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, Shifty.